You know, some days just start with stepping into the shit. Yes. So I don't usually have a set time when I wake up. And I wouldn't say I'm a morning person, really. I really enjoy sleeping in. That's my guilty truth. We're guilty in this kind of paradigm we have of, okay, I gotta get up early and do everything before the day even starts. And sometimes I do that, and it's great. But there's nothing sweeter for me than the taste of freedom, of not waking up with an alarm clock. Let's go to the other side. There's more sun. And this is what I love about living in a more southern place, because the abundance of sunlight, just being able to wake up in the morning and be in the sun. Like, I spent enough years in miserable climates like London or Belgium where there's just sometimes no sunlight for months, and just to be here and to enjoy it, it's a completely different story. Generally, I'll keep my phone on airplane mode for the whole morning, and even right now as I'm recording, it's still on airplane mode. And I usually turn it on maybe at 11 or 12 p.m. And the reason I do that is that it really allows me to just be with my own thoughts and not get distracted with what's out there and, get kind of into a more reactionary state. I can just really connect with my own mood, with my own ideas, what's coming through me today. And so I make sure I start creating before I go on social media. So usually I start my day with stream of consciousness writing, and I have my journal by my bedside, and as soon as I wake up, I'll grab a journal and I'll just write for 15 minutes straight without putting the pen down, and occasionally I'll do the writing or journaling really later in the day. Like today I went out and I decided just to be in the sun and do my journaling when I'm out. But the reason why you might want to do it close to when you wake up is because your consciousness is still kind of entering or transitioning from the land of dreams, right, where it's really where you're basically in this unconscious state, but where there's a lot of possibility, to the more waking consciousness, right, where it's like, really kind of the more zoomed in, narrow, immediate reality. So that transition in the middle, there's a lot of possibility there. So if you journal from that state, or in that state rather, you'll see that you'll be able to access certain ideas that don't come to you otherwise. So it's kind of like roughly the first 30-45 minutes since you wake up. And this is something that I learned from Julia Cameron in her Artist's Way, and it's a beautiful practice. So I'll journal and I'll meditate for a little bit. I'll sit and I'll just kind of notice how I feel in my body. I'll be present with my breath, especially be present with any discomfort and just be with that. I feel that's really powerful, just to allow anything uncomfortable to be there. And only then I'll transition more to gratitude. I'll do a little prayer, a little visualization. So more kind of the active meditation of inviting something in. And then I'll have breakfast. Sometimes I'll go for a walk. The morning can range. Sometimes I start straight away with going to the gym or going for a run. I think movement is really key, even if it's like just a little bit of yoga, a little bit of stretching, or even going for a 10 or 15-minute walk, just to get that blood flowing, especially on a gorgeous day like this. But even when it rains, it can also be powerful to start the day with something uncomfortable, like going out for a walk in the rain rather than just sitting inside and coming back and having a cold shower. So yeah, that's about it. And my routine doesn't take too long, but for me it's a sacred time. When I used to work in my job, it was all like I had to get up earlier than my body really felt like it, and be at the office at 8 a.m. And it's almost like they're trying to squeeze you for your best hours out of you for them. And so what I started doing, I started to wake up even earlier, which was hard, but I would do at least 1 hour of work that was just for me on my projects, on my business, on my art, and only then start working. So that meant, sometimes waking up at 5 a.m. or even earlier. So, but now I really prioritize these slow mornings, and I've built my life in such a way that I can wake up and just slowly enter the day and create from this space where nothing is really rushed or forced. And it's more actually my later part of the day that then I get into the workflow where I'm getting things done. I always put my meetings in the afternoon. So yeah, this is what works for me. I'd be curious to know how it is for you. And yeah, have a beautiful day.